Did you know that a man's body language, physiology, and behavior can tell you that he's falling in love with you way before he's ready to admit it? That's because when a man is falling in love, his entire body chemistry changes as he experiences a rush of feel-good hormones and neurotransmitters. And these love hormones leave signs that are easy to spot if you know what to look for. In this video, I'm going to share those signs so if you see them when you're together, you can be sure that he's falling for you. And it all starts with number one. Number one, you notice his body sweating in an otherwise cool location. When a man is attracted to you and interested in you, he will be unable to control the way his body reacts in your presence. That's because the autonomic nervous system releases specific neurotransmitters and hormones such as adrenaline whenever he's around you. And this love cocktail produces feelings of excitement, racing heart, breathlessness, and lots of perspiration. This hormone surge also causes blood vessels to constrict, which increases heart rate and blood pressure. So what are the signs to look for? Well, any indication of sweating or perspiration, including sweaty palms, his face getting flushed pink, and body sweating without exertion in an otherwise cool location. And trust me, this is embarrassingly obvious. For example, I can't tell you how many times this has happened to me on a date when I really like the person. My face becomes flushed red, my palms become sweaty, and my body starts sweating, even though I'm in a cool location and sometimes it's cold. And I can't stop it from happening. So if you're seeing any of these signs when he's around you, you can be sure that he's attracted and interested in you. Number two, he mirrors your gestures and copies you. When a man is attracted to you and feeling a special connection to you, he will mirror your gestures and your actions without even knowing it. This is a very good subconscious sign of his body wanting to be in sync with your body. So if you're wondering whether a man is into you, pay attention to his body language. Does he lean in when you lean in? Does he cross his legs when you cross yours? Does he mirror your facial gestures and facial expression? If he does, it's a good sign that he's attracted to you. Of course, it's not a surefire way to tell, but it's definitely worth paying attention to. Oh, and a great way to let him know that you're interested too is to copy his actions as well. Touch your face after he touches his. Smooth your hair when he smooths his, and so on. Number three, triangular eye gaze and dilated pupils. As you know, when a guy is attracted to you, he will look at you a lot and give you lots of eye contact. But there are a few specific characteristics of eye contact that specifically indicate strong attraction and interest. The first is called the triangular eye gaze. Basically, when a man is using the triangular eye gaze, he draws an imaginary inverted triangle on your face around your eyes and mouth. And when gazing at you, he first starts by looking at one eye for a brief moment, and then he switches to focus on the other eye for a moment, and then finally he moves to look at your lips for about a half a second. Then he moves his eyes back to look at your eyes again. So he basically makes a triangle while looking at your eyes and lips. Do you recognize that gaze? If you do, you know that it's very powerful and it means that he's really attracted to you. Second, if he's close enough to you for you to see his pupils, you may notice that his pupils dilate like this. And if you see those pupils change in your presence, that's awesome, and it means he really likes you because pupil dilation is involuntary and impossible to control. So his pupils should start to dilate the moment you begin gazing at each other. And this gazing is powerful because it triggers the release of the love hormone oxytocin, as well as other neurotransmitters associated with bonding, attraction, and love in both of you. And this is also a cause and effect relationship that works in both directions. So making eye contact releases oxytocin, and then the boost in oxytocin increases your desire for more eye contact. So it's a circular thing. There's one exception to this rule. If a guy is really nervous around you, he may not maintain locked eyes with you when you are very near, especially if he isn't sure of how you feel. But from a distance, you will always catch him staring at you. So if a guy's looking at you and holding that sustained eye contact and giving you those smiling eyes at a distance, that's a great sign of interest and attraction. Number four, he stands straighter around you. The term peacocking has been used to describe the ways that men make a display of their attraction to someone. And this is like a showy behavior that is designed to attract your attention. It's literally an evolutionary thing that's built into men to show you that he has a strong and fit body. And from an evolutionary perspective, a strong and fit body is presumed to be more fertile. So if he's attracted and interested in you, you will notice that he automatically stands straighter when he sees you because he's trying to appear attractive to you. And it's funny because people don't even know that they're doing it. So for example, he was slouching and talking to a friend until you showed up. And then he sits up straighter or he stands up a little taller when you came around. And he probably pushed out his chest a little bit and sucked in his gut too. Now, these posture adjustments are done to look more attractive to you, and they're a definite sign that he's attracted to you. By the way, is there a particular thing that you do when you like someone? Maybe you didn't even realize it until someone pointed it out to you. If there's something you do whenever you're crushing on someone, I'd love to hear about it. So leave a comment below and let's start a discussion. Number 5, body contact and touching. Another behavior that shows interest and attraction is touch. And when a guy is attracted to you, he will likely find some excuse to touch you more, and he will be more receptive to your touch as well. He may even increase his touching over time, going from friendly handshakes to greeting and parting with hugs. Or maybe he will try to get you to play a game that involves touching hands or something silly. But if he's not touching you or casually bumping into you, you could try to casually touch him on his arm or shoulder or bump into him and then gauge his response. If you casually touch him and he doesn't pull away, that's a great sign. Oh, and here are a couple bonus signs. Another form of touching is preening. Preening is a form of grooming another person and a solid sign of affection. For example, if he sees a piece of lint on your hair and he removes it for you, that's preening. Or if he notices a hair on your face or something out of place, and rather than simply alert you or tell you about it, he removes it for you. It's kind of like he's grooming you. Number 6, he asks a lot of questions and he remembers details about you. When a man is into you, he will show a great interest in your life. He will ask you all sorts of questions, including those that are really intimate. And he remembers the details about you, especially about your schedule. Even if you mention something briefly in passing about your time off or about your schedule, he will remember those details, and I'll tell you why. Well, that's because what you say is so tied to him emotionally that your words will be forged into his memory. Think of it this way. Most of us have very vivid memories of 9/11. We remember even the slightest details of what we were doing when we first heard the news. We remember so vividly because of all the emotions that were attached to the memory. So when a guy remembers surprising details and specifics about you and your schedule, it's clear that you have an emotional impact on him. Number 7, he finds excuses to see you or to talk to you. The next sign is one that men often try to hide, but you'll be able to spot it from a mile away. And that is, he finds excuses to see you or to talk to you. For example, if he's someone you know from work or from school or through friends, he goes out of his way to specifically find you or contact you, often with an excuse. And he will ask you for things that he didn't necessarily need to ask you, or start a conversation he didn't need to have with you because he could have got the information from somewhere else. Or he might ask seemingly random questions, seeking your opinion about a restaurant or a movie or a place to shop. When he wants to get your attention, he'll think of something even if he just makes it up. And not only that, when texting, he keeps the conversation going even when he has to start a new topic. When a guy's very interested in you, he will seek to maintain communication even if he's super busy and might not be able to respond immediately. But when he does, he puts effort into the communication and he seeks to keep it going. So you'll know he really likes you when he holds a conversation, when he furthers the conversation and asks you questions that go beyond the obligatory acknowledgement and response to your text. By the way, I've also made a video that explains the things that you can do to encourage a man to fall in love with you. Click here to watch that video now, or click here to watch a video that YouTube thinks that you like. And if you're interested in making your love life the best part of your life, be sure to subscribe and click the bell notification so you're getting all of our latest videos. I'll see you in the next video.